TBN is the largest faith broadcasting channel in the world. We're in 170-something countries. We're broadcasting in 15 languages, and we're reaching hundreds of millions of people globally. Creating content for our audience to draw in new audiences is really big for us. So we're sitting here on the set of Better Together, and this is part of our play to create new, great, compelling content that's relevant to our audience, to bring in new people and to better serve the audience that currently exists.
The projects were actually two different ones that came along at the same time. Very different technical requirements, but both lended themselves very well to the new 150 cameras and the Tecnopoint equipment. Project here in California is a new production. It's a women's show. What makes it very different is the format in which we're capturing the show. The show is done in the round. It is done with no crew in the studio at all. They're trying to create a very intimate environment, so we had to come up with a way to give us the same shooting capabilities as if we had operators in the studio. The project in New York, we have been lucky enough to put together a cooperative production with Eric Metaxas, who has a widely syndicated radio show out of New York, and he has moved his show to our studios in New York and does his radio show from there, and we're capturing that as a new production for the network. By moving a radio show there, it was a smaller space that we didn't want to have operators in the studio, and also wanted to be able to do it with very limited staff so that it was a cost-effective production. Between the two projects, we bought a total of 16 of the 150 cameras and 7 controllers. 10 cameras and 5 controllers are in the California facility. There we felt like, because of the nature of the show and the unique element besides just shooting in the round, that the set actually rotates the entire time, that trying to get the operators to do more than 2 cameras at a time was going to be a little challenging, because they're constantly in motion, constantly having to track the talent. In New York, it's a total of 6 cameras and 2 controllers. Since it's much more of a traditional format, capturing a radio show, we felt like 2 operators could, with the addition of the Tecnopoint software and it being able to automate a lot of the moves, that 2 controllers was more than enough to do the 6 cameras in that facility. There's been 2 main factors with the Tecnopoint products that have really stood out and helped us with the decision and have proven to be good on the other side. One was the smaller form factor of the system and how well it worked and how quiet it was in the studio environment, things like that. And second is how well it integrates with the Panasonic controllers and the Panasonic cameras and everything, that we actually got benefits we didn't even expect. The second factor, which was really unique discovery, which worked to our advantage, was that the new 150 camera has a much wider field of view, and the short distances that we're shooting on both the sets, that gave us a whole new option that we weren't expecting to get with this type of PTZ camera. Obviously, we're also looking at the 4K capabilities so that we're future-proofing. Anytime we make an investment, we try to make sure that we're future-proofing and being ready going down the road, and that allowed us to do that at the same time. So all those combined put it ahead of what anybody else could offer at the time. We've been pleasantly surprised, considering that we got just about the first units off the line for both the 150 cameras as well as the new controllers, that it all has performed very, very well. Panasonic support has been amazing with the integration, and obviously the work with the Tecnopoint and how they have come to support that in the U.S. and everything was an integral piece of it too. But all of it together has actually come together better than I could have hoped.